Hi, this is Muhammad Al-Hamoud from Riyadh Al-Salihin. Today we have a new lesson, Unit 8, Lesson 4, Sub Review. Please open your books on page 72. Look at the first question here. Listen, say and write. Listen, say and write.
Lesson 4, Review. Exercise 1. Listen, say and write. 1. I'm really tired. Why don't you sit down? 2.
I feel ill. Why don't you go to the doctor?
3. I'm very hungry. Why don't you have a sandwich? 4.
I'm very thirsty. Why don't you have a drink?
5. I don't get good marks in English. Why don't you study harder?
So, this question is about the use of why don't. Look at the first sentence here. I'm really tired. Why don't you sit down? The first sentence is the problem, and the second one is the suggestion for this problem. I'm really tired. Why don't you sit down? So, why don't is used here to indicate two suggestions. Look, I will read these sentences. I'm really tired. Why don't you sit down? The second one, I feel ill. This is the problem. I feel ill. So we have to suggest about this problem. Why don't you go to the doctor? Why don't you go to the doctor? So we give a suggestion to this problem. 3. I'm very hungry. Why don't you eat a sandwich? I'm very thirsty. So we have to give a suggestion here. Why don't you drink some water or have some water? 5. I don't get good marks in English. Why don't you study hard? Why don't you study hard? Now we go to the second question. Here we have an email and it has 5 mistakes and we have to correct them after listening to the track.
Lesson 4, Review. Exercise 2, Correct.
Dear Rima, hi, how are you? I phoned you at 6 this evening, but nobody answered the phone. Then I remembered. It's Thursday evening, and you and your mother sometimes visit your grandmother. So now I am emailing you. My big news is my French lesson. I am learning French. I had my first lesson yesterday. It was very difficult. You can speak a little French. Did you think it was difficult at first? Please help me with my French and English. Thank you.
We have 5 mistakes here in these questions and we have to correct them. Look, the first mistake is how are you? How are you is the correct form of how you are. In English we don't have how you are. We have to say how are you? I did found, so we have to delete did. Remembers, I remembers. We cannot say I remembers. We have to give the past form of remembers. It is remembered. I remembered. The past form of have is not haved. It is had. It were. Now, it cannot go with were. It goes with was. Was. So we have to say it was. The last one, you did. You did think. According to the audio, we have to say don't think. Don't think. We have to use the negative form. You did think. You did think is not correct. We have to say you or don't think. Don't think. Now we go to this grammar study. I will explain to you the use of must and mustn't. Must is used here to indicate to obligation or advice. Mustn't is the opposite form or the negative form of must. Look at this. Look at these examples. I must be polite. I must be polite. And the negative form is I mustn't eat in class. So you don't have to eat in class. So you don't have to eat in class. Must, mustn't, must, mustn't. Look at this exercise. Exercise 4. It's very simple. We have to delete mustn't and the subject and put don't instead. Again, we have to delete the subject and the mustn't and put don't, because we can use don't instead of mustn't here. Look at the first sentence. You mustn't forget to bring your book to class. So we delete you mustn't and put don't forget. The second one, you must speak English in your English lessons. Speak English in your English. Here we cannot use don't because the sentence is not negative. Is not negative. Is not negative. 3. You mustn't stay out late at night. You mustn't stay out late at night. We can answer it. Don't stay out late at night. The fourth one. You must eat lots of fruit and vegetables. You must eat lots of fruit and vegetables. So the sentence is not negative, so we put the verb at the beginning of the sentence. Eat lots of fruit and vegetables. Number 5. You must take. This the same as the number 4. Take your passport to the airport. 6. You mustn't. Look, this is negative, so we have to use don't at the beginning of the sentence. Don't use your mobile phone on the plane. Don't use your mobile phone on the plane. Now we go to question number 5. Correct the spelling mistakes. There is one in each sentence. Look at the first one. Bahrain is an island to the northeast of Saudi Arabia. So we have this mistake. Island. So it is written here in like this. So we have to change it. It is written like this. Al-Baha, number 2. Al-Baha city and district is very beautiful. Al-Baha city and district is very beautiful. Look, this is the mistake here. Beautiful. We can change it now to this form. Beautiful. This is the right one. Number 3. You don't usually need an umbrella. Look, umbrella, not umbrella, it is umbrella. Umbrella. Omar is taking a praise book on the plane. Omar is taking a praise book on the plane. Look, phrase, not praise. We have to change it to phrase. Rakan visited. Look, this is a big mistake. Visited. We cannot double the letter T here. So we change it like this. Okay. Finally, we go to the last question here. Number 6. Underline. We have prepositions here and we have to use them correctly. The first one, let's meet at, on, in the station. Look, the word station, we have to use the preposition at before. Let's meet at the station. Let's meet at the station. So we have to choose at. 2. Omar's staying at, on, in Oxford. For cities we use in. For cities we use in. 3. Fred lives at, on, in England. Okay, this is city, England. We have to use in. 4. There was an old castle at, on, in the island. So we have to use on for islands. For islands. The last one. I'm doing this exercise at, on, in, home. The word home here must use at before. So we can say at home. At home. Okay, this is our lesson today. Thank you very much. This is Muhammad Al-Hamoud from Riyadh Al-Salihin. Thank you.